Welcome back to another video. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and go check out our Instagram pages where I post daily original photos of our life, our animals, and everything in between. So I am super excited to announce we hit 1,000 subscribers, and we wouldn't have been able to do it without all of you guys watching our videos, liking, commenting, and of course, subscribing for future videos. So I just want to give a big thank you to everybody who tunes into these videos and listens to me talk and ramble on and show all of our awesome, cool animals in our collection and share our rat breeding and care. And we will continue to do that for a long time. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about rat breeding and care. And of course, our mice, our little mice colony we got going on. We're going to talk about a few things. So the first thing we're going to talk about is going to be the quality of your rats. And I really wanted to touch base on this because a lot of people, especially if you're breeding a rat colony to feed a snake collection. So I was on the phone with Earl from Lonestar Reptiles the other day, and we got into a conversation about quality in, quality out. And this is a phrase that is thrown around in the reptile world, and I believe it started with Justin from Justin Cabelco Reptiles. And what that means is you put as much quality into the food that you are feeding your snakes as you do the genetics or anything else. And I think a lot of people kind of skip over this or misunderstand what the quality out or quality in, quality out means. And basically what this means is all of this effort and money and everything else that you are putting into your snakes, you should be putting in double to the rats and to the food. Whether you're feeding rats or mice, you should be putting in double the quality into your rat collection, because essentially that is going to be the food that is going into your snake. That is what your snake is going to absorb. Now, the reason quality in, quality out is so important and why we take so much pride in breeding our rats, and that includes their well-being, their stress level, that includes the food that we give them, the environment we keep them in, all of these factors that go into rat breeding. Because if you have a happy, healthy rat that you are essentially going to unfortunately euthanize or feed to your snakes, that quality rat, like I said, is going to be eaten by your snake, which in turn is going to make your snake healthy. Now, just like in a human, if you are eating healthy food, you are exercising, you are in the proper environment where your stress levels are low, on the outside, you are going to look really good. You're going to be a healthy weight, you're going to have muscle tone, all these different factors that make you look good on the outside. And as breeders, when we are trying to rehome, sell a quality snake to a customer, that is what they're looking for. They're looking for a very healthy, good-looking animal. And I think people kind of overlook this and just buy whatever food they can to keep their snakes healthy, and then they breed. And then a lot of times when they have offspring, they don't understand why maybe somebody else's offspring, say like ours or Justin Cabelca's or Earl from Lonestar Reptiles or some of these other breeders that really take, the quality of our rats into account when we're feeding them to our snakes. They're wondering why their animals don't have the same quality, don't have the same look, aren't as bright. And this is one of those reasons. It's because you have to take as much pride into breeding your rat colony as you do in taking care of your snakes. It all ties together and it all goes hand in hand. So this is one of the main reasons why I take just as good, if not better, care of my rats, my mice, the entire colony as I do my snakes. I actually spend probably 2 or 3 times as much time with my rats every single week as I ever will my snakes. And that is so I can have quality food to feed my snakes. And this doesn't just include the bins that they stay in. I've explained in other videos, we do the dark bins because it blocks out the light, it reduces stress. But this also includes high quality food, such as the Missouri rodent food. I know Earl from Lonestar, he actually formulates his own rodent food. He doesn't really do these kind of rats, but he does the ASFs. And then he gets his rats from a quality breeder. On top of the quality food, we also feed fresh fruits and vegetables weekly, couple times a week as snacks. And that ensures that you're giving the rats variety. It also teaches them to not be afraid of you when you're handling them or when you're cleaning out their bins. Rats in general are very, very smart. But I have taught my rats that when it's time to clean, they know that they come to me, I can easily pick them up and put them somewhere else. Not always. Sometimes I open the bins, it startles them a bit. But then afterwards, when I return them to their bin, they understand that there is going to be a treat waiting for them. And if you followed along on our journey, you know that I mainly give carrots, cheese, different varieties of cheese. I do grapes, I do watermelon, I do other leafy greens. But those are the majority of the treats I give them, and they get that once or twice a week, depending on how often I clean their cages. Now, our maternity rack is finally starting to fill up. We've got it about halfway filled up. We have just 4 rows. There's one empty one here, but we have about 5 rows filled up with mamas in this rack. So apparently we're doing something right. Our production is going up. Each one of these bins has anywhere from 12 to 15 babies with them. And so this is very, very important when you're cleaning them, and that their babies know to trust us as well. Hi, Mama. Hi, Mama. And we got a bunch of little babies in there. So I just want people to understand that when you're watching what we do here as far as breeding our rats and you're watching the videos, I've had a lot of people say, hey, can I just breed 1 male and 1 female? And it doesn't quite work like that. If you go ahead and watch my, is it financially feasible to breed a rat colony? I really break down the cost and the maintenance and how many snakes you have to have and how many rats you really need to have to make it worth breeding an entire colony. Just 1 male, 1 female, or even 2 females and 1 male, it ain't gonna work. It's just, that's not how colonies work. Rat colonies are very large. The male needs to be able to go, to multiple females. He can't be left by himself. And the rat mamas also need time to recoup after they've had babies. So you have to have, at least I would say 6 mamas spread into 3 bins, having that male rotate through every 3 weeks in order to really make it work. This is not something you can do on a small scale. You kind of have to be on a little bit larger scale and be prepared for that in order to breed. Now, I wanted to address another question that I've been getting a lot, and that's how I keep down the smell in my house, because where my rats are located is actually a large sunroom that's connected to my living room and the main part of my house. And a lot of people think that it stinks. And I'm going to tell you right now, just clean. Keep things clean. There really is nothing to it. If you find that your rats start to smell midweek, get in there and clean them. That's how I keep the smell down. My 2 larger racks, which are these 2 right here, I clean once a week, usually every Friday or Saturday. Completely clean out the aspen substrate, replace with all new substrate. A lot of times if they've pooped in the sides, just spray it, clean it out. It's fresh and ready to go. Now for the maternity rack, because there is so many babies in a small space. Ooh, Mama's sleeping. Sorry, Mama. I'll close you up. Let's try another one. I think everybody's sleeping right now and eating. Look how cute. Everybody's sleeping and feeding. But so for the maternity rack, because there's so many babies in this little tiny bin, I have lately been cleaning them out twice a week, usually Wednesday and Saturday. And there's one fly in here because my dogs go outside and it's hot and there's flies. So that's not due to smell. That's just because it's hot here right now. But usually about Wednesday, I will notice that, when I walk by here to let my dogs outside, I will start to smell a little bit of a stench. Now, it doesn't engulf the room. It's literally when I come in proximity of the rack and I know that needs to be cleaned. I clean it out. It's fresh and ready to go. No more smell. Now, I think when people get they have, you know, this very potent smell of their rats. I think it's because maybe they don't have enough ventilation. They don't have enough air circulation, maybe in a smaller bedroom where they keep their rats. This is why a lot of people put them in their garages, because then they can vent the garage door. They can add vents to their garage, or they can just open the garage periodically to air it out as well. Like I said, we have a large sunroom where all my stuff is kept. We constantly have our cooler going. We constantly have windows and fans going. So I never notice the smell. There is no smell. And like I said, I clean very, very often, so that keeps the smell down. Also, it provides a clean environment for my rats. So another thing that I have touched on in previous videos is actually keeping your good mamas, when they can no longer bear their own young, to have as kind of adoptive mothers. I don't know if you want to call it surrogate mothers, but just keep those, so that way if you have a brand new mama who's maybe not taking very good care of her own babies, that you can actually pull those babies and give them to this other mama, and she will actually start producing milk and she will care for them. So we have not done this just yet, but I did have a mother, one of our albinos, who has produced large litters for us in the past. I went in one day and she was starting to give birth. I let her be. I came and checked her in the morning and she only had one baby. Now, I don't know what happened to the rest of the litter. She was taking care of this one baby, so I doubt it. I mean, I'm sure she ate the litter, but I don't think she ate them while they were alive. I don't know if they were all stillborn. I don't know what happened, but she only had one baby left. So I kept her by herself for a little while, and then I put her back with some of her other bin mates. Now, I did notice that she wasn't being as attentive to the baby as she probably could have. The baby was losing weight. He wasn't growing like he should have. So I made the decision to pull him from his mother. And since we have so many mothers in the rack right now that are currently feeding and nursing their young, I decided to put him with another mama. Now, I put him with this mama, and I'll show you him in a minute. It took a couple hours. I came and checked on them after about 1 to 2 hours, and she kept moving him to a spot all by himself. So I would pick him up and move him and stick him with her litter where she was nursing. And then she would move her whole litter and sniff him and leave him alone. So I kind of left them alone for a few hours, came back and checked on them because I figured if she's not going to do it, we have a few others to try. Somebody is bound to feed him. But I came back and I found that she was feeding them and including them. So I am glad to see that. We're all the babies, mama. So even though he's about a week older, he's just as big. And there he is, the little albino baby. And he's starting to put on some weight, which is absolutely awesome to see. No, where are you going? And I need to clean this bin. I'm kind of in the middle of cleaning. You're okay, mama. But yes, so she took him on as her own and has been feeding him, and he is doing great. He's already put on some weight. He doesn't look all emaciated. I know, I'll leave in a second. So that is absolutely awesome, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So if you have babies where the mothers aren't taking care of them, you can go ahead and put them with different mamas. So that is it for rats. Now, I have something super exciting to show you about our mice. Okay, so everybody is sleeping, but I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if we can. So I had an idea that these ones were pregnant, and they had a few little babies. So they're about a week and a half, 2 weeks old now. I'm sorry to disturb you. So this is their very first litter, and they didn't eat them, which was absolutely awesome, and I was extremely surprised at the same time. So she birthed 8. We have 7 in there, and as you just saw, all of them are joining in and taking care of them collectively together, which is absolutely awesome. So I was super surprised because I kept all of these females together because I kind of had an inkling that they would have babies and then eat them. So I just kept the one male, and we have about 6 or 7 females that we kept together. But to my surprise, they had babies, and everybody in the colony or in the bin was taking turns taking care of them together, which was absolutely awesome. And then a week after that, I noticed that there were 2 more females that were getting ready to give birth. They were super plump. And now all of a sudden we were having this stealing problem. I was sitting down in my living room and I heard the babies just constantly squealing. So I came down here to observe what was going on. And the pregnant mothers were taking them out of the nest and kept moving them, and they kept just moving them back and forth. So what I ended up doing is I took the male and those 2 pregnant females and I put them in their own bin, which the other females in this bin with the babies, they all came together and started taking care of them again, and we didn't have an issue again. So it's always good to have extra empty bins in case something like this happens and you have to separate in order to save babies. So the other thing that happened is those 2 females that I moved over, I wasn't too optimistic that they were going to have babies and we were going to keep them. But to my surprise, they had babies, and not all of them are in there. I think one mama did eat hers, but then the other mama, look at that. We got another huge litter, and they are both taking care of them together. So we have quite a few little mice babies right now, and I think it's just absolutely awesome because we thought that we weren't going to have any because these are first-time mamas and they typically eat the whole litter. But apparently that's not always the case. And these ones are little fuzzies right now. Hi, Mama. It's crazy how they feed them. They like spread out like, don't go out. There was another one trying to get out. But yeah, they kind of like spread out on top of the babies. But yep, that was absolutely awesome. So we have a bunch of little babies, and we're gonna have mouse hoppers for a lot of our new hatchlings. And then these ones are just about ready to be separated, and they're actually gonna become some hatchling food. There's a couple small ones in there from a previous litter, and then these ones are all the other ones. Yeah, so that was super exciting because, our mice weren't producing. We just had those 2 mamas that were producing semi-regularly for us, but we were kind of worried we weren't going to have enough for our hatchlings because we had our first clutch, and now we have 2 more clutches. We have the second clutch is getting ready to start eating, and then we have our third clutch that's in shed. So obviously they're going to need to start eating here in the next few weeks too. So that is going to be perfect timing, and we are so glad that they decided to take care of the babies, obviously. All right, well, that is it for today's rat and mice breeding and care video, sharing just a couple things about quality and why it is so important to take care of your rats to the best of your ability, and putting maybe more time into your rat colony as you do your snakes, just to add that quality in there. And then let me know if you found that helpful. I thought it was super cool that you can just switch babies around and the different rat mamas will actually take care of them. So that is super exciting because I've had a few instances like this, but this is the first time I actually decided to move a baby over, and it worked out beautifully. So hope you guys find that helpful. And of course the mice, I thought it was the general rule that, first time mamas always ate their babies, but as I found out, that is not always the case. So I wanted to share that with you guys, that if you do have a brand new mice colony, they may eat them, they may not. So you never know. Sometimes they surprise you. So again, thank you for watching. Drop a comment down below if you found any of this information helpful. And always, I'll keep you updated on some different things that go on in our colony. So hopefully it could help out somebody like you guys who are interested in breeding your own colony, either currently or in the future. And always, if you're going to drop a comment and you have something pertinent to share that maybe somebody else watching these videos, it might be useful to them, don't be afraid or hesitant to drop a comment and share that information. Hey, I'm still learning. We're always learning. I've only been doing this for about 18 months. I still have a lot more to learn. I always appreciate comments, advice, and what have you. So again, thank you for watching. Thank you for the 1,000 subscribers that have tuned in and listened to me rant in these videos. Awesome. All right, I think I'm going to end it now. Stay safe, stay sane, get out there and make your own footprints. Bye.